The CSPs are moving to a much more agile model of service delivery. They want to be able to turn on services efficiently and then roll them out very quickly without having physical constraints in that process. So OpenStack serves the purpose of providing an underlying infrastructure which they can pop software on, and having a consistent OpenStack in every location that they care about allows them to roll that software out very, very quickly. So it's a substrate, it's an underlying infrastructure, and OpenStack very quickly became the consensus substrate for industry effectively, for larger clouds, for larger data centers where they have the space to run something as substantial as OpenStack. Well, we're in a transition phase at the moment from the appliance era through to the cloud era. And in the middle, essentially, what we have are appliances where the disk has been removed and plopped onto the cloud as a virtual machine. The next step to cloud native really involves touching the application. It's not so much about OpenStack. It's more about the VNF vendors, the application authors, adopting newer primitives for application architectures, which are cloud native. So containers are part of that, but not the whole story. I think that will emerge. I think this will emerge naturally because all of the vendors that we talk to are essentially planning the next generation of their VNFs, and those will all be cloud native. So actually, the challenges with OpenStack aren't so much about cloud native VNFs, so much as understanding the operational dynamics of OpenStack in order to be able to offer that consistent virtualized infrastructure management capability in hundreds of data centers around a continent. Those are the real challenges today with OpenStack, and those are the areas where we're focused in working with the CSPs. The VNF vendors today are in that transition phase, but they will deliver cloud native VNFs in due course. I'm not too worried about that. Well, OpenStack is a general purpose infrastructure. It's being used inside banks, it's been used in media companies, it's been used inside scientific institutions. It's really concerned with on-demand availability of virtual machines, virtual networks, and virtual disks. Telcos, of course, have some unique requirements. They have some unique requirements in terms of the capabilities they want, the physical capabilities that they want to offer to the applications in those clouds. And they also have unique requirements in terms of how they want to operate software across many, many clouds. A telco isn't just a single cloud. A telco is hundreds of clouds. And software isn't in any one place. It has to be coordinated across all of those places. So the OPNFV initiative is essentially saying, looking at creating interoperability between VNFs on top of those clouds, and projects like OpenMano, the OSM project, are focused on creating open source ways to operate software across all of those different clouds. And OpenStack interacts with those in the usual way that open source projects interact. And I think it's becoming clear, the boundaries between those concerns are becoming clear. I very much believe that 5G implementations will roll out on OpenStack for the simple reason that the R&D being done around this 5G is on OpenStack today. We have good visibility with Ubuntu's OpenStack, Canonical's OpenStack on the next wave of 5G innovation. And there are two areas that we see substantial innovation. One is in the data center on top of OpenStack, and the other is at the edge, where we're working with folks who are designing essentially software-defined radio capabilities for the actual 5G protocol modulation. And in both cases, I think open source will play a very significant role. Clearly in the data center, OpenStack will define the infrastructure.